Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CSGO Clutch Podcast, sponsored by PrizePicks. My name is Adam Cohn, I'm your host. It is a solo pod edition here today on the podcast. Dan has the night off. Will be rejoining us for the next main slate. We know how much y'all love Dan out there. Big shout out, Dan. Can't wait to have you back on the pod. Enjoy the night off, my friend. The CSGO Clutch Podcast is sponsored by PrizePicks. Use the promo code CLUTCH. Again, that's promo code CLUTCH. New depositors get a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. Go check them out at prizepicks.com. We will have our prize picks segment later on at the end of the podcast. While I have everyone's attention, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. That way there you all know every single time one of these podcasts drop. And leave a comment down below. Who do you like on this slate? Who are you taking stands on? Have you all won money? Let us know. We love hearing from our fans. All right, I got all the plugs out of the way, except for one last one. Follow the CSGO Clutch Podcast on Twitter at CSGO Clutch Pod. That will be where news and episodes and stuff are posted if you're not subscribed. I'm going to try doing a better job of making sure they're up there each and every single night for you all. And if we're going to have a night off, we will let you know as well on there. And we want to interact with all of you all as well. You can follow me on Twitter at AdamWX21. You can follow Dan on Twitter at WanDelch, WanDelch. All right, let's recap the winning lineup from yesterday. It was a mega, I don't even know the best way to say this, mega takedown of first place. There was, looks like, 45-person tie for first place, I think. Let's see, 46. Yeah, it looks like a 45-person tie for first place. The winning lineup was a 3-3 combination, 3 Gambit, 3 Complexity. Captain Shiro, you absolutely needed. He went ham. He had 100 flex points in the flex spot, 150.75 points in the captain spot. He went absolutely off. We combined him with Axile and Inters. All three of Shiro, Axile, and Hobbit did do well on this slate, and did well in the game in general. So we have some time. We're going to go over here to hltv.org. Let's go over here to events. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the last Premier Spring Final 2021. Double elimination bracket. We go back here to this game. We can see here Shiro was plus 28, hence why he was optimal. Both Axile and Hobbit both were plus 11. Inters, who I did mention yesterday, I liked him as a very interesting play. He was plus 3, 39 and 36, 60.3 ADR, at the 1.06 rating. And then we had Nafany. I captained Nafany. I didn't cash. 41 and 50. Nafany has a habit of, him as the agile, he likes taking space and he also likes getting information. So as much as he's a good fragger and he can have high games, just know that his play is almost kind of sort of like a less aggressive art. He likes taking space. He likes getting information. So there's definitely that as well. So let's take a look here. We got our rating here. He had a 0.91 rating. Your ADR, or average damage per round, he only had 64.5. So while he had more than Inters, he was just getting fed the entire game. So, and everyone on EG was negative. Mihu did look impressive, especially on map 1, where Mihu was plus 4. He had a good T-sided half. Was CT-sided? Was CT-sided. He looked really, really good on Inferno. But, needless to say, as much as Stannis thought that he was doing good on Inferno, it ended up minus 17. Going for an Evil Genius or just Mihu and Obo. I don't know if we can really trust any other ones. So you want to mix those in your stacks as well. So, hey, congrats to Gambit. You know, they did it. And Complexity came out like the juggernaut they are. Config had a day. 53, 7, and 32 with 2 4Ks. 92.5 DK points. Blame F also had a day. He had a map and a half on Ancient. He went nuts. 44, 17, 26 overall. 86 DK points. And Poison at $5,800. 36, 7, and 25 for 61 DraftKings points. Congrats to everyone that tied at first place. Let's go here onto today's slate, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into what is going to be a very interesting slate. And I say interesting because we have Nip versus EG as our second game on the slate. But the first game on the slate we're going to go into is Na'Vi versus FaZe Clan. So Nada Sphinxer versus FaZe Clan. Na'Vi versus FaZe. This is really interesting, ladies and gentlemen. I actually like a double dog upset. I really, really do. So if we head over to the Pinnacle betting odds, head over here to Leagues, head over to Blast Premier, and we take a look at the slate. So we don't get G2 and big on this slate. G2 comes in as a minus 166 favorite for you bettors out there. Big at a plus 136 underdog. Na'Vi come in as a massive, massive favorite. Minus 297. FaZe at a plus 234 underdog. EG coming in at a plus 109 underdog to Nip being a minus 133 favorite. I actually really think that's interesting. So, why are Na'Vi heavily favored? Because they're one of the best teams in the world. Look, I get that. If you listened to the podcast yesterday, Olaf Meister is back for FaZe Clan. coldzera's out. So they brought Olaf back. Olaf's great. Olaf's 4,400. Fantastic. I think Twisted 7,000 is ridiculously underpriced. I think for large field GPPs, if you want to get funky and go FaZe and EG, that's a completely perfect and viable strategy. Na'Vi should win this, just like Gambit should have beat EG yesterday. Na'Vi should win. Simple's probably going to go bonkers. He's the highest priced player on this slate. He's 9,600. He's a core play for me on the slate, just by quick first glance. Nothing else really sticks out to me. But I would say Simple at 9,600 against FaZe. Absolutely someone you want to be targeting on this slate. Electronic at 8,600. Perfecto 6,800. Bit is 7,600. And Boomage all the way down at 5,800. Look, I don't mind pairing Simple with any of his Na'Vi counterparts. I don't really have a set preference. They're all kind of interchangeable for me. Boomage I like the least, but I think has probably some of the highest upside versus FaZe. Now it'll be really interesting to see the dynamic of Karrigan and Olaf. So that'll be interesting to see. But I'm really interested to see how FaZe do against Na'Vi. Again, we want to take into account because it's not like Olaf is overall new to the team, right? Like, he knows FaZe, he knows what some of the tactics are. Most likely, I expect him and Karrigan to work really well together. I don't think there's going to be that much of an issue, and this is not like this is something they haven't been planning for a while, because we haven't seen him on a slate in some time. If I had to pick a favorite from Na'Vi, it's Bit. That's not named Simple. It's a Bit, Electronic, Perfecto, Boomage. Like I said, any of those other three are interchangeable. Boomage being my least favorite, but I like him for GPPs as well. Twist is my favorite GPP play on the slate. 7,000 is too low for him. Twist is someone that we can actually go to the stats here real quick. So we head over here to matches on HLTV.org. Head over to event, blast. Twist is someone I absolutely have interested in this slate. So if you head over here to Twist, right? Head over to the stats. Let's look over his last 3 months supply. He's not terrible. He's got a 1.17 kill to death ratio in 21 maps. He's got a 79.6 ADR, a 0.77 KPR, an impact rating of 1.12, and an overall rating of 1.16. His DPR is 0.65. What's not to like about him? We take a look at his last couple of matches. Okay. Mouse Sports, he crushed. Right? He crushed them. Versus G2. Shockingly, he wasn't that good against Sprout. Now we're incorporating a new map. Maybe we see FaZe pick into Ancient. We're not sure how this is going to go quite yet. Twist is someone I have interested on this slate. If we actually head all the way back here, right? Let's take a look at Olaf's stats real quick. I want to put him over the last 6 months of play so we can get a decent sample size. So I went over the last 3 months. He hasn't played. But over the last 6 months, the last time he subbed in for FaZe. And it's not like Olaf for Super Bowl is only 29. He's got a 1.06 kill to death ratio, with a 74.1 ADR, a .69 KPR, and a DPR of .65. He has a .9 impact rating, okay, but a 1.05 rating overall. His last few matches that he played with this team, you know, oh look, Nave, we just saw this. He was only -3. Versus Liquid, crushed them. He went absolutely off. Versus Liquid again, crushed them. Versus Navi again, you know, So I don't mind taking shots on Olaf Meister in large field GPPs, for sure. For me, it's Twist 1. I actually like Rain 2, Brokey 3, Olaf 4, Kerrigan 5, in that order. I think taking shots on all of these teams in every player for MMEs absolutely the way to go on this slate. But like I said, single entry, I'd probably stick with Navi and Nip. If you're doing single entry, I don't mind a one-off of Twists either. Alright, second game here on the slate, and the last game on the slate is the Ninjas in Pajamas versus the Evil Geniuses. Nip versus EG, and Device comes in at 9,000 for the Ninjas. Rez at 8,200. LNZ at 7,200. Hampus at 6,400. And Plopsky at 5,400. Look, the Hampus call didn't pay off. Alright, it didn't pay off. Okay. I want to take everyone back to what we saw today on Ancient. With Nip. Nip picked into Ancient and lost to Complexity 16-9. Excuse me, now I don't know if they were just trying something. They were testing it. Or if they've been working on it. They had to have been working on it. So, I just want to take you all here into Ancient real quick. Some of these scores stand out to me. Plopsky was 1-14 on the T side. Nip's T side was terrible. Right now, I don't know what to call Ancient, if it's a T-sided map or a CT-sided map, but Plopsky did well on Mirage. He was +2. He was 6-22 overall on Ancient. Like, it's something to keep in mind, folks. It's really something to keep in mind. So, for this, now again, this isn't Complexity. It's EG. Nip should have an easier time against this team, especially Device. Device is your single entry lock for Nip, in my opinion. For GPP, though, I like Res 1, Device 2. Though I don't mind if you go Device and Res and just leave it at that. I think Res does really well against EG here. I'm going right back to the Hampus bandwagon. Or the Hampus wagon, rather. I'm going to go Hampus 3, LNZ, LNZ 5. I'll still take Plopsky over LNZ. It's close. LNZ over Plopsky. Though Plopsky is a great GPP play. And probably my third favorite GPP play over Hampus and LNZ. On the EG side of things, look, I said it could be a double dog winning day. I think EG has a chance to beat Nip 2-1. Obo and Mihu, who I'm targeting. Obo's 8,000. Keep that in mind. Mihu's 6,200. Play Mihu. Play Obo. Breezy's my third favorite. Cirque 4, Stanislaw 5. Stanislaw is not out of play anymore. He played and looked really good on Inferno. That team just didn't do too well on Dust 2 today. So I think Stanislaw is worth some shots in MMEs. Absolutely worth some shots. I mean, 15-20%, and he'll probably be double the field. Circa, someone I think can get right back on the bandwagon, but again, it's Device. And we'll see what happens with this team. But I like Cirque as well. Breezy, again, a wild card, but I like him more than I did yesterday. Mihu 1, Obo 2, Breezy 3, Cirque 4, Stanislaw 5. Time for our core value GPP and favorite team stack segment. My core play on this slate, like I mentioned earlier, is simple. In regards to my value play, Mihu at 6,200 is a value. Boomich at 5,800 is a value, and I'm just gonna Plopsky and Olaf Meister as well are values. GPP play, I already said, is twists. Time for our price pick segment here, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more GPP play. Res. And like I said, Simple and Device are great plays, but I really like Res as well and Device. All right. So now we get that out of the way. Let's refresh prize picks here. So I don't over here to the CSGO tab. I did find out, as I decided to play a map 3 today, if they don't get to map 3, you get a DNP. So if you get a DNP, I do not believe it counts towards your total. Still got to check on that for you all. All right, this is interesting. So taking a look at some of these. Kai didn't get there today. I played Kai yesterday. He didn't get there. Zori versus Entropic. 36.5. I'll take the ballsy call and give me over on Zori 36.5. Who else we got here? I don't mind taking the shot on Hunter over 39.5 if we see Vertigo. I don't mind that at all because we know Hunter really likes that map. He goes off on that map and usually has a high fragging total. So I wouldn't mind that, though it's not something I'm confident in, but I would take Hunter over. Let's take a look here. Olaf Meister 32.5 versus Navi. Give me the over. I think that's too low of a line for him. I think Olaf Meister can definitely get there with that line. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for the podcast today. Again, don't forget to check us out on Twitter at CSGO ClutchPod. And we'll see you all for the next DraftKings main slate. If you have any questions, you can feel free to ask me on Twitter or in the comments below. You can follow me on Twitter and ask them at AdamWX21. And again, you can follow Dan on Twitter at Wandelch, WANDELCH. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck on this slate. Latest, peoples.